Good evening, spooks, and welcome to an impromptu book haul. I had no intentions of doing this. I'm supposed to be not on a book buying ban, but on a let's just resist doing crazy things ban. That sounds better, that makes more sense, right? However, we're here, we're queer, my joint pain is severe. My friend told me that quote, but she said it slightly differently. She said, what did she say? We're here, we're queer. I'm here, I'm queer. My joint pain is mild to severe. Unsure, but it was impeccable and I would like to adopt it forever. Anyway, as part of my TBR game for April, I did pick up the boost card that said visit a charity shop or the library. And I always do as I'm told. And so I did. Not only did I go to a charity shop, Oxfam in Norwich to be exact, I also picked up a steal from Dunelm. They had a charity book table there, so you just pop in a couple of pounds and take whatever you like. And also, I had to check that I was counting to 3 successfully. Also, my friends and I went to Blickling Hall, which is a National Trust hall, funnily enough, based in Norfolk, which is surrounded by water and woodland, and it's beautiful. And they have a cafe and a bookshop there, where I also picked up a couple of steals. So I'm just going to go through what I got and tell you how much I spent, because it's mind-blowing. I don't think I spent any more than £20 in total, and I got 7 books, 3 of which are hardbacks. Let me show you. So first up, as I said, I went to Oxfam in Norwich and I picked up 3 books. I think I spent a total of £8. So first up, I picked up Mona by Paula Oloiksarak. If I am pronouncing that wrong, please correct me in the comments. I am unsure. And I have seen this everywhere because I know this to be a short little horror, I think translated from Spanish, and some of my favourite short horrors have been translated from Spanish, so my hopes are high, sky high. But let me read it back to you. First of all, before we get there, the cover is spooky, and I love it. Mona wakes and bakes on a Californian campus where she has discovered she is something of an anthropological, hard word to say, curiosity, a Latina treasured for the flourish of diversity she brings to her department. When she is nominated for the most important literary award in Europe, Mona sees a chance to escape her sunlit substance abuse and erotic distraction and leaves for a small village in Sweden. Her competitors arrive from all over the world, from Japan, France, Armenia, Iran, and Colombia. And there they do what writers do: exchange flattery, nurse envy and resentment, stab rivals in the back, and go to bed together. But all the while, Mona keeps stumbling across traces of violence on her body, the origins of which she can't or won't remember. That last sentence, hook, line, and sinker. And evidence, please. We've got receipts. £2.49. Can you even see that? £2.49 from Oxfam. Bargain. It was on the display in the window. I walked past it. Mona. And I went in. Mona. From the same shop, I picked up Perfectly Preventable Deaths by Deirdre Sullivan. I have never heard of this before, but the cover hooked me. I mean, first of all, oh, it matches me. It matches me and The Office impeccably. And the title is, curious. I'm definitely interested. I don't think I've even read this, but here we go. 16-year-old twins Maddie and Caitlin have moved to Ballyfran, an isolated, peculiar town in the mountains, a place where, for generations, teenage girls have gone missing. Caitlin has always been the confident one, and Maddie is used to being in her shadow. But in Ballyfran, their paths divide, and Caitlin falls in love. As Caitlin falls in love and Maddie begins to discover powers she never knew she had, Maddie will have to find something hidden deep within her if she is going to prevent her sister losing more than her heart to this strange town. It sounds witchy. And evidence? $2.99. Now the next one I have seen so many times, I'm always curious by the title and have just never picked it up. So I don't actually know what it's about, but I do know the title is The Lost Bookshop by Evie Woods, and I see it everywhere. Has anyone read this yet? Because It must be popular, I see it everywhere, but I just haven't ever picked it up. It's quite chunky, for me anyway. On a quiet street in Dublin, a lost bookshop is waiting to be found. For too long, Opaline, Martha and Henry have been the side characters in their own lives. But when a vanishing bookshop casts its spell, these three unsuspecting strangers will discover that their own stories are every bit as extraordinary as the ones found in the pages of their beloved books. By unlocking the secrets of the shelves, they find themselves transported to a world of wonder where nothing is as it seems. How far will you go to find your story? It sounds so good. It sounds all magic realism and bookshoppy. What more would you want? And of course, $3.49, a bargain. So that was my little foray into Oxfam. And then on the same day, the book gods were upon me. I went into Dunelm to look at light fittings, just doing my adult stuff, you know how it is. And I saw they had a charity table there. And I thought, I'll have a little peruse, but it's usually crime. Why are crime books always at these sort of tables? It's not really my genre, but I stumbled upon this. And this being, gosh, she's heavy, Law by Alexandra Bracken, New York Times bestselling author. Bind your fate to mine. And correct me if I'm wrong, that is Medusa. I've never seen this before. You may deny the fates, but they will not deny you. Fighting them will not save you from what is ahead. Oh, it's got reviews on the back and not an explanation. There's a map. This is really long. I'm going to summarise as I read. Every 7 years, 9 Greek gods are forced to walk the earth as mortals. They are hunted by the descendants of ancient bloodlines, all eager to kill a god and seize their divine power and immortality. That's all I'm going to tell you because it sounds great already. And I think there might be illustrations halfway through. I can see lines. Do you know what I mean? Look at that. That's pretty cool. It's quite a big book, but it was £1. I'm excited by it. I'm saving the true best for last because I went to Blickling Hall and I went into their second-hand bookshop and I found some amazing books in there. I could have spent so much more money, but I had to carry these back to the car and they're heavy because 2 of them are hardbacks. Let me tell you what I got. First up, and I have been wanting to read this for a very long time, I picked up Their Eyes Were Watching God by Zora Neale Hurston. I haven't seen this paperback version before. I did have it briefly on audiobook, but I think because of the voices, I really needed to read it at the same time. So I am very excited to read this. I've heard amazing things. When at 16, Janie is caught kissing shiftless Johnny Taylor, her grandmother swiftly marries her off to an old man with 60 acres. Horrifying. Janie endures 2 stifling marriages before she finally meets the man of her dreams, who offers not diamonds, but a packet of flowering seeds. There are reviews from Zadie Smith, Toni Morrison, Alice Walker, and Oprah Winfrey. They are some great reviewers. Yeah, really interested to read this one. I think... Oh, I can tell you how much it was. It was £1.50. Next up. Now, I know this is quite a bold move, but it was kind of a steal, so I had to. And it will now force me to read the other 2. I picked up the 3rd book in the Wolf Den series, is it? Is it Wolf Den? The Temple of Fortuna by Elodie Harper. I haven't read the first 2, but I want to. And this is in amazing condition. This looks like maybe it's been read once or not at all. I don't know if I'm going to show you this, but I'm trying. £3.50. £3.50. So I'm thinking maybe I will ebook or audiobook the first 2, and then if I love them, I will buy them and then have the full set. But what an absolute bargain. Oh, the cover is so pretty. £3.50. And last but not least, another steal from the Blickling Hall bookshop. I got The Other Black Girl by Zakiya Dahlia Harris. And the cover is beautiful. Again, we're going for orange, yellows, autumnal in this room. First of all, I will tell you, this cost me £3. Evidence. 26-year-old editorial assistant Nella Rogers is tired of being the only black employee at Wagner Books. Fed up with the isolation and the microaggressions, she's thrilled when Hazel starts working in the cubicle beside hers. They've only just started comparing natural hair care regimens though, when a string of uncomfortable events causes Nella to become public enemy number 1, and Hazel the office darling. Suspicious. Then the notes begin to appear on Nella's desk. Leave Wagner now. What? It's hard to believe Hazel is behind these hostile messages, but as Nella starts to spiral and obsess over the sinister forces at play, she soon realizes that there is a lot more at stake than her career. Dark, funny, and furiously entertaining, The Other Black Girl is a smart satire on race and the modern-day workplace that will keep you guessing until the very last twist. Sounds really familiar, like I have read it before. But either way, I don't own it, and it is beautiful, and it was £3. So I think in total I maybe spent... I'm not going to do that maths. Maybe I'll do the maths. 1 second. I spent £18 and I got 7 books. And I got 7 books, 3 of which are hardbacks. Go to your local charity shop or to your local... What is it? Because I'm not playing. That is incredible. I am so excited. I need to add them to my spreadsheet and stick them on the shelves. I think that all of these, except obviously the 3rd book, will go on my immediate TBR shelf. Maybe the lore one, the Greek mythology one, will go on the TBR jar, just because that's quite a big book. And I love Greek mythology, but I've got a lot of mythology on my shelves already. So that may get relegated straight away. But otherwise, I'm excited to read all these soon. So, what a win! I did not intend to do a book haul. I was going to be so good because as part of my TBR game, I obviously win coins and that equates to pound coins that I can spend. And I only had 15 to spend this month and I already spent them because I wanted to pre-order a book that comes out in October. I mean, you are worth the wait. But wow, October. I guess I will forget that I've pre-ordered that and that'll be a nice prize in October. But I'll tell you all about it when I wrap up my April TBR game. So I'll let you know exactly what I spent my money on and what I pre-ordered. But for now, thank you so much for watching. And if you have any recommendations for spooky books, witches, body horror, any kind of extreme horror, please drop your recommendations below. But otherwise, I will catch you in a video very, very soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.